Man fatally shot by police in alleged confrontation in Homestead, Spanish Town. The Independent Commission of Investigation is probing the fatal shooting of a man by the police in Homestead, Spanish Town, St. Catherine on Tuesday. The deceased has been identified as 30-year-old music producer Javon, who lived in the community. Reports are that about 2 p.m., a police team went on an operation in Homestead, and Javon was reportedly seen sitting on a wall. He reportedly jumped from the wall and ran into a house. He was pursued by the police, and upon entering the house, he reportedly pointed a handgun at the cops, who took evasive action and fired, injuring Javon. According to police, a Glock pistol with a magazine containing 4 rounds was retrieved. He was assisted to the Spanish Town Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. 18-year-old listed as wanted fatally shot in alleged police confrontation. 18-year-old Dwayne Leslie, otherwise called Google, who was listed as wanted, was shot dead during an alleged confrontation with the police in Kingston on Wednesday. According to the police, a loaded pistol was seized. The police said the incident happened along Rose Lane in Hanover. They noted the incident was reported to the Police, Inspectorate and Professional Standards Oversight Bureau and the Independent Commission of Investigations. Leslie was listed as wanted in relation to a case of shooting with intent. Third man in abduction of teacher in Hanover fatally shot by police. The police are reporting that a third man who was involved with last week's abduction of the teacher in Pell River, Hanover, was fatally shot by cops during an alleged confrontation in the parish. The deceased has been identified as 38-year-old Omar Johnson of Ginger Hill, Hanover. The police report that about 9:45 p.m. on Wednesday, cops were conducting an operation in Pell River when they encountered Johnson. A confrontation allegedly ensued, resulting in Johnson being shot. A loaded gun was seized at the scene, according to the police. Johnson was transported to hospital, where he was pronounced dead. The police say Johnson was among a group of men who on Thursday, May 8, forcibly removed a teacher from her vehicle in Pell River and took her to another location in the community. The teacher was rescued by the police on the same day. During the rescue operation, 2 other men, 21-year-old Kevin Garden and 27-year-old Christopher Williams, were fatally shot during an alleged confrontation with the police. Johnson escaped. The incident was reported to the Independent Commission of Investigations and the Police Inspectorate and Professional Standard Oversight Bureau. Spokesman on Energy takes issue with pace of government consultations regarding negotiations for a new JPS license. Opposition spokesman on Energy Philip Powell has taken issue with what he says is the slow pace at which the government is conducting consultations surrounding its negotiations for a new Jamaica Public Service JPS license. The current JPS license is slated to end in July 2027. However, the government must signal its intent to discuss the terms of the new electricity license at least 2 years before the existing one expires. That period would be this July. If this is not done, the license will continue with the same terms and conditions for another 10 years. During his contribution to the sectoral debate, Mr. Powell said he has been informed that the government is still in its preliminary stages of consultation, a process that should have already been completed. He also expressed concern about the Energy Council, established in 2012 to address similar issues, has not been convened to provide guidance on the matter.
During the Standing Finance Committee earlier this year in February, I reminded everyone that on the 7th of July this year, the government must inform JPSCO of its intentions about the negotiations for a new license. Because if it doesn't, the license that currently exists will be renewed automatically. The government responded by saying that the World Bank was going to be providing assistance. And I'm disappointed because after 9 years, the only thing this government has mastered is to outsource its homework. This is work that should have started in 2023 when I gave notice. Stakeholders have told me, Minister, and you have confirmed that the World Bank team was recently here conducting interviews. Minister, I would have expected if a team from the World Bank is coming to offer guidance, then the first stop, or one of the first stops, should be to the opposition. This is a matter that transcends politics. The minister told me last week that when the team comes back, I'll be given an opportunity. I'll be given an opportunity. So, Madam Speaker, I say to the government, we are now in May, and the government is only in the preliminary stages of consultation. This consultation should have started 2 years ago and completed by now. Minister, could you say, when you speak, what is the status of the Energy Council? Is this government committed to meaningful consultation with stakeholders in the sector? So let me be clear, Madam Speaker. The negotiations for a new JPSCO license is fundamental to our future and especially crucial to the twin issues of cost of living and lack of growth. The situation is nothing like it was in 2001. And the minister keeps on saying that I was the one who signed the 2001 license. I was a part of the administration, so I can't deny responsibility, but I was not the minister. Madam Speaker, just as the previous administration, which we were a part of, was bold and visionary in negotiating better terms with Cable and Wireless in 2000, we too must be bold now in terms of JPS.
Donna Lee tried to dodge police boyfriend Maitland and visit to her house. Jurors in the trial of Police Constable Noel Maitland were on Wednesday told by Sophia, who is the first witness to take this stand in the Home Circuit Court matter, that her daughter Donna Donaldsons had requested that she tell Maitland she wasn't there when he popped up at their home one day, shouting her name. Maitland is on trial for the July 2022 murder and unlawful burial of Donaldson's corpse. During examination in chief, Prosecutor Claudia Thompson asked Sophia if Maitland had ever entered her yard where she lived with Donaldson and her other children, and Sophia shared that he did so only once over the roughly 3-year period her daughter had been involved with him. He came into my yard once. I heard Mr. Maitland shouting, "Lee, Lee," which was the name he gave to Donna. She got up from the couch in the room and she said, "Mommy, I'm not here, I'm not here." She went to the back room and I got up and pulled my bedroom door, which leads to the veranda. I saw Mr. Maitland pulling the grill to enter inside. I can't recall the time. I said to him, "Don't you have a warrant?" I asked him that because he was dressed in police clothes. He smiled and said, "Mom, I know nothing, man. Me a call her and she not answer, and me know say she dey here." He had a soft voice. His mood was very calm, she stated. Even though she said Donaldson told her to tell Maitland that she was not there, she still came out of the house to talk to him. Donna came out, and I left them and went back inside. I closed the door behind me. They were having conversation, but I did not hear, Sophia told the court. Thoughts of living without her daughter for over 3 years made Sophia broke down and cry in court as she left the court building, to the point where it appeared difficult for her to stand upright. In court, Sophia shared that the relationship she and Donaldson had was more like sisters and not merely mother and daughter. 25-year-old businessman charged in $96 million bank fraud scheme. A 25-year-old businessman has been charged in connection with a sophisticated fraud scheme that defrauded a local commercial bank of over US $600,000, equivalent to $96 million in Jamaican dollars. He is Jordan Hines, the operator of Original 24K Clothing Company Limited. According to a report from the Ministry of Finance, a joint operation involving 6 members from the Jamaica Constabulary Force JCF, Constable Financial Unit CFU, and the Special Operations Unit of the Counter-Terrorism and Organized Crime Investigations Branch CTOC, executed a search warrant at Hines Old Harbour St. Catherine residence in the early hours of Monday, May 12, 2025. Investigators allege that between November 13 and December 28, 2022, Hines and his co-conspirators manipulated a point-of-sale POS terminal issue by the bank to conduct unauthorized offline transactions. By bypassing the bank's real-time authorization system, the scheme caused the bank to unknowingly advance funds to Hines' bank account, which was quickly depleted via withdrawals and transfers, the report noted. The transactions were subsequently flagged as fraudulent by intermediary bank, resulting in chargebacks and losses to the local bank of approximately Jamaican 99 million. The ministry said that the POS device in question was issued by the bank of legitimate business purposes, specifically for processing customers' debit and credit payments while online. However, the accused and his accomplices intentionally placed the machine in offline mode to exploit the system and commit fraud, it noted. During Monday's operation, investigators seized 5 cellular phones belonging to the suspect, his spouse, and his brother. 2 lock safes and cash totaling over 1 million Jamaican was also confiscated. Hines was arrested on reasonable suspicion of breach of the Proceeds of Crime Act and Larceny Act. Following an interview conducted in the presence of his attorney, he was formally charged with simple larceny, conspiracy to defraud, possession of criminal property, and engaging in a transaction involving criminal property. He has since been granted bail in the amount of Jamaican $400,000 with one surety and is scheduled to appear before the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court on June 10, 2025. Principal Director of Financial Crimes Investigations, Keith Darren, emphasized the significance of this operation, stating, "This case highlights the increasing complexity of financial crimes and the critical need for constant vigilance and interagency collaboration. Fraud not only undermines the financial system, but also erodes public trust. The Financial Investigations Division and our partners in law enforcement remain committed to uncovering and dismantling these schemes. Investigations remain ongoing." To subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.